Ever wonder what really happens when you're caught cheating in Vegas? It turns out what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay there. Sometimes it follows you home in ways you cannot even imagine. So let's find out what are the consequences of scamming the house and meet some real-life cheaters who felt these consequences themselves. The first penalty? Well, let's just say the back rooms would become a reality for you. You'd be detained. Here's how it goes down. Any employee in a Vegas casino, from the poker dealer to the slot attendant, has the legal power to question you if they suspect foul play. It could be a hidden ace, a suspiciously lucky streak, or some shifty behavior they've picked up on their eagle-eyed surveillance. Once suspicion is aroused, they can take you aside into a more private, quiet area. And they can do this without fearing any legal repercussions themselves. Here's where things get intense. If their suspicions hold water, if they believe they have enough evidence to suggest that you've been bending the rules, they can hold you, detain you, right there in the casino while they dial up the police. As long as their methods and the time they keep you there are considered reasonable, you might find yourself cooling your heels till the Las Vegas Metro's Financial Crimes Unit shows up. You might think it can't get worse than that, right? But no, it can. The next thing you lose after your freedom is your money. Your winnings would be seized. In Vegas, if you're suspected of cheating, the casino's response is swift and firm. The loot you've been gathering, all those winnings, that can be swept away at a moment's notice. You see, in Vegas, casinos have the authority to seize your gains even if they just suspect you of cheating. Once the casino has gathered enough evidence to support their claims of your deceit, they won't shy away from taking back their losses. Your pile of winnings, which seemed untouchable moments ago, can quickly shrink to nothing, leaving you with empty pockets. Step outside the neon-lit streets of Vegas, and things can get even more uncertain. Some less reputable establishments might use the charge of cheating to unjustly seize your winnings. They could seize your winnings even if you have been playing fair, justifying it under the banner of preventing fraud. If you're ever caught in this situation, especially abroad, the safest option might be to step back, absorb the loss, and get out. Losing your winnings can be devastating, but what if the fallout follows you no matter where you go? You'd be blacklisted. Now, if being caught and losing your winnings was not enough, brace yourself for the next potential fallout. You could be blacklisted. This essentially means that the casino would record your details and ban you from ever entering their establishment again. They could essentially shut their doors to you forever. The mechanism for this? It is a black book. Not just any black book, but one that is either shared with the local gambling commission or added to the Griffin book. This ensures that your information is not just confined to one casino, but rather it becomes available to a network of casinos in the area. But the reach of this blacklisting does not stop at the casino's threshold. Your details could also be shared with the Nevada Gaming Commission, which regulates all the gaming activities in Nevada. That's right, the fallout of being caught cheating in one casino can extend far beyond that establishment, possibly resulting in a citywide ban. This could mean you would be shut out from not just one, but potentially many, if not all, Las Vegas casinos. So, we've talked about getting detained, having your winnings seized, and even getting blacklisted. But believe it or not, things could get even worse. Because if you're caught cheating in a casino in Vegas, the consequences can be in the hands of the law. Criminal charges. We're not just talking about a slap on the wrist or a stern warning. When we say you could face criminal charges, we mean a potential trip to court and even a stint in jail. Under Nevada law, it is a serious offense to cheat at any gambling game. Doesn't matter who you are, a player, an employee, or even an owner of the establishment. If you're found to be cheating, you could be looking at a Category C felony charge. And what does that mean exactly? Well, for the first-time offender, it can mean fines up to $10,000, repaying the casino for their loss, and possibly spending between 1 to 5 years in prison. Imagine swapping the glitz and glamour of the casino for the harsh reality of a prison cell. That's the risk you run when you cheat in Vegas. If you're thinking about trying your luck a second time, think again. Repeat offenders face even harsher penalties, with a Category B felony charge. This could land you in prison for up to 6 years, and the fines remain as high as 10 grand. But what if you didn't even successfully cheat? What if you only tried or even conspired to cheat? Well, Nevada law doesn't let that slide either. Even an attempt to cheat or a conspiracy to defraud a casino can be charged as a Category C felony, bringing with it the same penalties as a completed crime. So whether you are planning, attempting, or succeeding at cheating in a Vegas casino, you're rolling the dice with your freedom. This means that when it comes to gambling, it's always better to play it safe and play it fair. Because the house always wins, and when you cheat, the stakes couldn't be higher. Even knowing the risks, some people still try to cheat. Some even won big, even millions, but eventually they got caught. So what happened to these real-life cheaters who tried to outsmart Vegas? Let's find out. Number 10. Phil Ivey. Let's start with Phil Ivey. He was a man known to many as one of the best poker players in the world. But Phil did not just stick to poker. No, he had his eyes set on baccarat, a game of chance, and he had a trick up his sleeve. He used a technique known as edge sorting. This involves spotting tiny inconsistencies on the backs of playing cards to determine their face value. Quite clever, you might think. And it was. This technique, combined with Ivey's skill, allowed him to win millions. Not just in Las Vegas, but in multiple casinos around the world. In 2012, Phil and a partner hit the baccarat tables at the Borgata Casino in Atlantic City. After 100 hours of play, they walked out with nearly $10 million. A dream come true, right? But the dream did not last long. The casino got suspicious. After investigating, they discovered Ivey's trick. He was using the manufacturing defects on the cards to his advantage, a move they considered cheating. As a result, Phil Ivey found himself in court, and not only did he have to return his winnings, but his reputation in the world of gambling was also tarnished forever. While Phil Ivey was trying to outwit the casinos all by himself, there was also a group of brainiacs from MIT who thought they could beat the house as a team. Number 9. The MIT Blackjack Team. The MIT Blackjack Team was a group of students and ex-students from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Harvard University, Harvard Business School, and other leading institutions. They weren't your average visitors to the Vegas Strip, though. They were mathematicians, engineers, and scholars who combined their intellect to take Vegas by storm. The group started in the early 1980s and grew over the next decade. In fact, their number grew to 80. So how did they cheat? Well, they used card counting in blackjack, which is a completely illegal, albeit frowned upon, strategy to predict the next hand's likelihood. They used a technique known as team play to maximize their wins. Some team members played low stakes, counting the cards, while others swooped in only when the count was favorable. It was a genius step. So genius that they reportedly managed to make $100,000 every time they visited Las Vegas casinos, and sometimes even as much as $1 million. However, their story was not one of unending success. By the early 90s, casino surveillance had advanced, and the team's frequent visits and pattern of betting started to raise red flags. The casinos started sharing information about suspicious players, and before long, the faces of the MIT Blackjack Team were recognized and banned from playing in most casinos. Some players were even arrested and charged with serious crimes. While the MIT Blackjack Team used their scholarly knowledge to gain an edge, this next character relied on pure audacity and trickery to cheat his partners. Number 8. Richard Marcus. Richard Marcus is a name infamous in the world of gambling cheats. He found his way to the Sin City of Las Vegas with less than $1 to his name back in the 70s. But this genius player managed to cheat and win more than $38 million from the Las Vegas casinos. He landed a job as a blackjack and baccarat dealer and spent years learning the ins and outs of casino games. It was during these years that Marcus stumbled upon his infamous Savannah strategy. The Savannah involved placing a $5 chip on top of a $500 chip, betting low risk with the potential for a high reward. If he won, he would reveal the hidden $500 chip. If he lost, he would quickly remove the high-value chip before the dealer noticed. It was a simple sleight of hand, but it was wildly successful, netting him millions over the years. However, just like our previous characters, Marcus was not immune to the ever-watchful gaze of Las Vegas. Over time, his regular big winnings and his distinctive betting style caught the attention of casino surveillance. In fact, his famous Savannah strategy was made illegal even though it was not wrong. It was just a psychology play that let him win millions. Marcus was eventually caught and is now banned from most casinos. However, he got himself a job helping casinos find other witty cheaters and scammers. After those cunning poker and roulette masters, we have a man who pulled off one of the most lucrative slot machine scams in casino history. Number 7. Dennis Sean McAndrew. Meet Dennis Sean McAndrew, who used technical knowledge to outsmart the system. McAndrew came from a humble background in Pennsylvania. He had a knack for electronics and mechanics, but little did anyone suspect that this man would turn his technical skills towards a life of crime. He developed a keen understanding of the mechanical and electronic intricacies of slot machines, and this knowledge laid the foundation for his future as a casino cheat. Mastering the art of manipulating the machines, McAndrew struck gold in the mid-90s. He figured out how to use electronic chips to trick the slot machines into paying out large sums of money, all while seeming like regular, lucky gamblers. His trick involved using his gadgets to trick the slot machine sensor into spitting out coins like a broken piggy bank. It is reported that he won $16 million from the casinos using this trick. However, luck always has a way of turning, and it turned for McAndrew when he was caught by the FBI. He was arrested in 1998, and his grand slot machine scam came to an abrupt end. However, McAndrew got his prison sentence reduced by sharing his scamming tricks with the FBI and casino authorities. While McAndrew used unknown gadgets for his tricks, this next player even had a name for his cheating tool. He called it the Light Wand. Let's see what it is. Number 6. Tommy Glenn Carmichael. Tommy was not always a notorious figure in the gambling world. He started off as a humble TV repairman, but drifted towards the glittering world of casinos when times got tough. His first criminal jig, the bottom top joint, was a simple piece of wire that tripped a slot machine into releasing coins. However, as the casinos upgraded, so did Tommy. Enter the Light Wand, a small light bulb attached to a wire. This ingenious device, when inserted into the payout chute, would blind the slot machine sensor, forcing it to cough up a jackpot with each play. For years, Tommy and his light wand left casinos lighter by thousands of dollars. However, luck ran out for Tommy in 1996 when he was caught red-handed in Vegas. Prosecutors filed charges for his years of conning casinos, leading to his imprisonment. Not only was he sentenced to 1 year behind bars, but also years of probation from casinos. Now, leave the gadgets behind, because who needs them when this next scammer makes his own coins? Number 5. Louis the Coin Colavecchio. Colavecchio was part of a bigger gang. In fact, he was their leader. He came up with the unique idea of fabricating counterfeit slot machine coins. With painstaking attention to detail and advanced metallurgy, he produced fake coins. He used to make them from zinc, nickel, and copper, and then stamped them with an Italian-made coin press machine. This made the new fake coins indistinguishable from the real ones. He did this for years, making an unknown fortune from various casinos across the US, especially in Las Vegas. His operation was so flawless that it took casinos quite a while to notice. It wasn't until the late 90s, when several casinos reported an unusual surplus of coins, that suspicion arose. After a thorough investigation, authorities traced the counterfeits back to Colavecchio. His Rhode Island home was raided and found to be a veritable mint of phony coins. They also found 750 fake coins in his car. So, there it was. All the proof the police needed about his deceit. Charged with multiple counts of forgery and counterfeiting, Colavecchio was sent to prison. The casino world has seen many a cheater, but Colavecchio remains unique in his method of cheating. In the history of Vegas swindlers, Louis the Coin truly minted his own legacy. However, unlike all these scammers, this next player did not need any flashy tricks or tools. He had something far more powerful: insider knowledge. Number 4. Ron Harris. Harris was not just any player, he was an employee of the Nevada Gaming Control Board. His job gave him deep insights into the mechanics of gaming machines. Being a skilled programmer, he saw an opportunity and took it. Using his coding skills, Harris created a software cheat code that triggered the Keno machines to spit out big bucks. By simply pressing a special combination of buttons, he managed to pocket a whopping $100,000. But like many before him, greed got the better of Harris. He got too ambitious and rigged the machines for bigger payouts. His inflated wins were a dead giveaway, and soon enough, he found himself on the wrong side of the law. All his coding skills and insider knowledge could not save him from eventual arrest. But Ron was not the only insider taking advantage of his privileged position. There was another. Number 3. Mark Bronco. Mark Bronco was a dealer at the prestigious Bellagio Casino in Las Vegas. It was his position that allowed him to manipulate the game of craps to his advantage. Bronco assembled a team of friends who played the part of regular punters. Together, they rigged the game, placing outrageously unlikely bets that suspiciously kept winning. This far-fetched winning streak ended up enriching them by a cool $1.2 million. But the larger-than-life luck did not go unnoticed. Casinos are a hotbed for pattern recognition, and when a pattern is too perfect, it is usually a sign of something amiss. The unlikely winning pattern was a giant red flag, leading to the discovery of Bronco's cheating tricks. Bronco and his co-conspirator, James Russell Cooper Jr., were arrested in July 2014. Their grand scheme finally brought to light. Not only was Bronco fired and arrested, but he has also earned a permanent spot in the infamous Casino Black Book. This barred him from ever setting foot in a Nevada casino again. The $1 million cheat had finally crapped out. Number 2. Monique Laurent. Monique Laurent was a stunning blonde woman. She became infamous in the world of gambling cheats through her manipulation of roulette games in the 1970s. Monique did not work alone, though. She was part of a family operation. Her brother, a tech wizard, had created a radio-controlled roulette ball that could predict the outcome of the game. Her husband was also involved in the scam. Their clever trick was known as the French cigarette pack scandal. Her brother built a special ball that they could control with a hidden radio. This way, the ball would land on one of 6 chosen numbers about 9 times out of 10. They had a smart way to run their trick. Monique's brother would work as the dealer and swap the normal ball for their special one. Monique would sit at a table nearby and use a hidden radio in her cigarette pack to control the ball. Her husband would bet money on their chosen numbers, pretending he did not know Monique or her brother. This trick worked really well, and they were making lots of money, about 5 million francs every week. In the end, it was not the smart technology or vigilant casino security that led to their downfall. They just could not hide their new rich life, and people started to wonder how they were getting so much money. It was not long before the 3 of them were arrested, and the scam was stopped. While Monique and her family were cheating on their own, the next scammers on this list turned dealers into cheaters across multiple casinos. Number 1. Tran Organization. The Tran Organization was a group known for its clever scheme to cheat casinos. They did not rely on luck. Instead, they had a tricky method to beat the system. The plan involved bribing casino dealers and supervisors to perform what is called a false shuffle. This shuffle left certain cards unshuffled, so they knew what cards were coming next. Now, the key player, known as the claimer, would sit at the table and start placing big bets when the unshuffled part of the deck came up. This technique helped the team win huge amounts of money from around 28 casinos all across the US and 1 in Canada. It is estimated that the organization made at least $7 million in winnings. But, as with all cheating schemes, they eventually got caught. After a 5-year investigation, the members of the Tran Organization were charged with conspiracy to cheat at gambling, and they were sentenced to prison. So, we've seen scammers who tried to outsmart Vegas, right? Now let's meet a lawyer who stole millions, not from the casinos, but from the players, the lottery winners themselves. Click now to watch his story. You won't believe how he did it.